down to the lyrics. They've got the lyrics on their phone and they're actually streaming and singing along.
They're singing your songs.
Yeah. And requesting my songs. So it's actually like my show and my songs and my stories, coupled with all of my favorite Taylor Swift songs and Wagon Wheel and everything else.
Well, let's just throw a sidebar in there. I know that you just went to see Taylor Swift, right?
Amazing.
How was it?
I'm still in denial that the Eras tour is over because it's been my identity for a good 9 months since I got those tickets. I'm like, yes, I'm going to the Eras tour. I know what I'm wearing. I know what I'm singing. I know the playlist. I know, the dance moves. I know what's happening. I know when to scream and when to clap and when to put my hands in the heart in the air. And I've gotten it all ready. And so I'm in denial that it is over. It is not over. I will still be fangirling for as long as I can. And even when the Eras tour is over, the Tortured Poets Department will come out and I will be fangirling over that as well. I had an amazing time. I unapologetically ugly cried for multiple songs. It was very fun. She's an incredible performer and a songwriter, and the way that she connects with her fans is so inspiring as a musician myself. And the athleticism of that woman, like that is running marathons night after night after night after night. And I will tell you my shoes hurt. So
those stages and yeah, with her dancing and such, but those stage changes that she has is just amazing. The production alone,
it's 100% on another level. It was incredible.
I watched it on Netflix. That's what, as people in America that don't go to the concerts because they are so like incredible. I wanted to go see Pink. I think she did an Australia tour as well.
Yeah, I got to miss that one, but thankfully, the world of TikTok has kind of kept me up to date, and I had so many friends that went as well, so I got to see their videos and their point of view. But yeah, I was very grateful. I actually didn't watch the Netflix movie, the Disney movie. I think it's on Disney. I don't even know where it is, but it's coming out on Disney. I was very grateful. I didn't actually watch it yet. So I kind of got to experience the Eras tour firsthand for the first time in person, barring what I'd seen on TikTok. So, I didn't know that there was trees that came up in Evermore and Folklore, and I didn't know that she actually had a house. Like the set designs were literally bonkers. Like, it was absolutely crazy to see what those set designs had created, and the graphics and everything around just her music was eye-opening, absolutely shocking. I was like, whoa, the entire time.
How did they do that? Yeah, I think she has like 20 big rigs, like tractor and trailers that are just the set. It's not the musician stuff or anything.
It's literally a village to put on this show. And, it was very funny. I was writing an article for a premier music blog here in Australia called Country Town. They were very fortunate to actually share my Fangirl's Guide to Taylor Swift and the Eras Tour. And I'd written in it a revelation that, here in Australia, it takes 2 football teams to fill that stadium, but it only took one Taylor to sell it out night after night after night after night.
My
and,
gosh.
4 sold out stadium concerts. Like, that's incredible. So, definitely took a village to put that all together, but it was well worth it. It was incredible.
I'm glad that you had a good time and everyone there had a good time. Cassidy, it's just the beginning. You could be selling that stadium out just as well.
Oh, well, I love the belief. We definitely want that. It would be an absolute dream. And I would be fangirling every step of the way with everybody that believes in me for that.
Yeah. Remember me when you're big time. Hello to the person that just called me Susie. Peony. So I wanted to get back to the cruise ship. Okay. So what is like, do you do 1 show a day? Do you do 2 shows a day? How does that work for you?
The residency kind of depends and changes with each ship. Thankfully, I've had I think over 10 residencies now with Carnival and with P&O Cruise Lines, which has been fun. So the shows kind of go for 3 to 4 hours. Sometimes I can do 2 shows in a day and they'll just be separated. Sometimes it might even be 3 shows. So it's honestly, it changes with the venue on the ship. It changes with the dates and the residency itself. Yeah, it's definitely a lot of hard work. A lot of people think that it's, um, living on
all
vacation.
pleasure.
And while I
Yeah,
definitely
right.
have an incredible time getting to perform, on their main stages for hundreds, if not thousands of people at a time, it's definitely a lot of hard work put into it every single day.
That, and how, as a vocalist, how do you, I mean, it takes a lot of hydration. It takes a lot of preparing your voice. I mean, what you eat and exercise and things of that nature. So, what do you do to like to pace yourself when you're doing 2 and 3 shows? And you're high energy, you know?
I like to think I am, yeah. My technique is kind of formed from a long line of errors and trials and tribulations. I mean, when I first got on board on a residency on Carnival, they'd flown me to Florida. And I hadn't actually worked for anybody else before. A lot of my jobs as a musician is working one on one with the manager or owner of a restaurant, or we
Right.
have returned service leagues here in Australia, which is kind of like clubs. We call them RSLs. So, we have a lot of my interactions are never like a consistent basis. It's always one-on-one with the venue manager. So I'd learned along the way that when I first got over there, I didn't realize that I could take a day off. Nobody told me that if I vocally needed a day to rest that I could. So I worked 72 days. I think was my very first contract with Carnival, and I worked 72 days, 3-hour nights.
Wow.
And that was like one of the biggest learning curves that I'd ever had. I was going over there from performing at clubs and pubs here in Australia with
Right.
Aussie music, and I went over there and they went, come knowing 200 songs, and I was like, typical Aussie, she'll be right. That's a very classic Aussie saying, like, she'll be right, I'll be fine. Flew over there. My manager like welcomed me and he's like, welcome to your bar, this is where you're going to perform every night. People have like request books all around the room. You're gonna play the songs that they request. And I was like, this is amazing. When are we gonna play all the songs that I know how to play? And when are we gonna get books made up for all the songs that I know how to play, so guests can request the songs that I know how to play? And he just like looked at me and laughed, and he was like, haha, no, this is the book for the ship. And for every ship, you start tonight. Good luck, have fun, see you later. And I flipped through the book and I wish I was joking. I knew 3 songs. I knew American Pie, Piano Man, and I Will Survive. And I needed to survive
Okay.
because 72 days. So I had a rule with my guests that I still have to this day with my fans, that if I know the song, I'll play it. And if I don't, I will try and learn it. So just coming back another night and we'll see if we can have some fun with it. But yeah, I had a lot of learning curves from drinking tea, constantly making sure that I get some fresh air outside, constantly getting enough sleep. So thankfully my cabin is quite dark. I get about 10 hours of sleep, but that sometimes means I'm waking up at noon every day and then performing till midnight that night. So it's definitely a regime that I had to get used to and work on. What soothers worked, what teas worked best, how much water I should
Right.
drink, the amount of sunlight that I needed, a lot of exercise and walking throughout the day. And thankfully the ship is like a couple of football fields long, so just walking up and down is like getting the steps in every day.
I can't even imagine how big a cruise ship is. I've always wanted to go on a cruise. And if I'm going to go on one, I want to be on one where you're performing.
Oh, I love that. Well,
Yes, wouldn't that
definitely, I would
be so
highly
much
suggest it.
fun?
The
Now,
bigger
okay,
the cruise ship, the less it actually feels like you're on the water. Like I get so excited when the ship moves and you can feel it. I'm like, oh my goodness, I'm at sea. Because otherwise it just feels like you're really in a hotel. You just wake up in new, amazing places. So like one day I was waking up, I ended up flying my family out to Florida, and we were waking up. One day we were on Aruba, the next day we were in Mexico, the next day we were in St. Thomas, and like we just wake up in different islands, and it was incredible. So it definitely feels like a hotel and less like a ship, but it's huge. It's like a whole community on there.
Yeah, with the different floors and stuff. That's incredible. So when you play, are you playing with like a backdrop behind you and you're at the piano and playing your guitar? How is a stage normally set up for you?
Yeah, well, a lot of the times, if it's a main stage, that's usually a stage, and then the audience will sit in front of you. For a lot of the piano bars that I've been able to perform in, it's actually right in the middle of the room is the stage. So the audience actually surrounds you. It's literally like sitting and having speakers sitting 360 and then playing your music. You get this cacophony of sound all around you, which is almost majestic. I love being in the middle of the room and having the entire crowd singing my songs at the top of their lungs, that I can kind of just sit there and feel that energy and feel how excited they are, and then hear them like singing every word and believing every word. It's absolutely incredible. And only recently have I been taking my guitar since COVID happened. I was very lucky. The day that the borders shut here in Australia was the day that I was meant to hop on a ship and go to Hawaii. And, I had literally all of my stuff packed up, and I've said to my parents, I was like, I don't really have a place to live. And they were like, open arms, and said, come live with us on our farm.
Yeah.
And we had this incredible time, and I was like, well, I'm not going to do anything for the next 2 years because I was living on cruise ships, so I'm going to learn how to play guitar. So kind of took it to the next level and ended up teaching myself how to play and writing songs on guitar. And then now I just take it on cruise ships with me. And so in a piano bar, people will see me just sit up on the piano, and I'll just be like, let's play guitar.
Yes, you can tell. I mean, I can tell from your videos that you do, like your short stories or your photos that you've had from the cruise ship. I mean, your audience is so involved in your show. That has got as a musician, we all look for that. I mean, we want that vibe because it makes us appreciate what we're doing. They're appreciating what you're doing, and it's a give take kind of thing. And so they're standing on top of bars, or they're standing on top of your piano, they're standing on top of tables and going wild.
It's honestly like people have big dreams in life, and then they have little dreams to get to their big dreams. It was definitely, I didn't even realize that it was a dream of mine to have 300 400 people singing your songs back at you so loudly that you don't even need to sing because you're not going to be heard anyway. They're just that loud.
Right. You don't want to push your voice, try to be over top of them, but that is going to be an incredible feeling.
Oh my goodness. Yes. It's literally brings tears to the eyes when it happens, of them just like singing one more song at the top of their lungs, and then actually singing the song that I wrote.
And then singing the song. Yeah.
Testing new songs out on these audiences, and them going, okay, we've heard this song once. Like before I released Fangirl, I was like, I wonder how people are going to take it. I'll just play it. I played it once, and by the end of the song, they'd already been singing it. And they'd come back the following night and they're like, play Fangirl, play Fangirl, play Fangirl. And they're like, we've got the lyrics. We wrote them down. We like recorded it. We've been singing along all day. We know the words. Play it. And I'm like, this is incredible. So yeah, I definitely didn't expect it. Being a musician, when I first started, for me, it was very therapeutic. I was like 15. My best friend was 17. She suffered from type 1 diabetes. She actually passed away in her sleep. For dead in bed syndrome here in Australia. At the time, they didn't have alarms that they had in America that could wake carers and let them know when they would go into a hypoglycemic reaction. And so unfortunately, she actually passed away to something that was quite manageable. And thankfully, she lived a very well life. She traveled the world twice. It was incredible. And her parents, took her passing and were able to change literally the face of Australia with diabetes, and made sure no parent in Australia ever experienced what they did. So every type 1 diabetic, you know, could have alarms, and their carers could make sure that they were looked after if they went into those hypoglycemic reactions. But for me, when I was 15, I actually found out on Facebook. You know, my wall was covered with RIPs. And that's how I found out that my best friend had passed away. You know, that was for me so shocking that I didn't even know how to process it, that I ended up turning to music. And it started out as quite therapeutic.
Right.
And then, you know, music eventually, as I grew older, became a way of me to escape. You know, I started on cruise ships, and I was starting to escape and travel and adventure and experience life. And I was escaping this, you know, world of what is about to be my life, what is reality, stepping out of school and stepping into this big bad world. Like, you know, music was that way of like transformation. And slowly music has become something even more amazing, and it's about people, and it's about the incredible fans that I meet in this community that surround me. And, you know, it's about connecting heart to heart, and it's about,
Right.
You know, writing songs about people and their stories and their lives and their experiences, as well as my own experiences, and interacting with them. And it's, you know, for a lot of musicians, music is very much about the song and about, you know, the storytelling, or about the poem, or about, you know, what it means to for them. And for me, thankfully, with this experience and with this residencies and with this opportunity to grow as a musician, it's transformed into actually being about the people. That's actually the best part, and connecting heart to heart with an audience that becomes a fan, that becomes a friend, that becomes a part of this community, and kind of like getting to travel the world together and create this music together. So it's been absolutely amazing.
Well, I'm sorry for the loss of your friend, but I'm sure that she is looking down on you, and she is so proud of you. I mean, you're making her smile every day, and I'm sure your life has been full of smiles, although with with the missing of her friendship, it your life has been different for having known her.
Yeah.
And you know, I mean, blessings to you, because without having known her, life would, you know, that part of your life would have been empty. Because you
Oh
do
my
find,
goodness.
I mean, you know, in the music business, you do find a lot of people that are shallow, at least, you know, when I was out there. Um, and with you, I mean, the connection that I see with you and your audiences is just over the top. And I saw a few pictures of you sitting at the piano playing, and you had an iPod in. And I'm thinking, oh, well, that's her monitor. And I'm thinking, "Well, how else would she hear if she didn't have like in ear monitors?" So, was that a monitor? Is that what you were doing?
No, actually, it's a really
No.
cool thing. So I have on my stage a monitor up against me, so I can kind of hear myself. Except when the crowd gets really loud, then there's no hope in anything that I can hear myself at all. But because I've been doing residencies for so long, and because I had that rule that if I know it, I play it, and if I don't, I will try and learn it. I kind of have a cool parlor trick where I can be playing a song. And as musicians, we all know those songs that we can do blindfolded, you know, without thinking at all. For me, it's like Wagon Wheel, or anything Taylor Swift, or Ed Sheeran, or Bruno. Like, there's so many songs that I can do, close my eyes, sing it at the top of my lungs, and get a crowd involved to sing along with me. So that while I'm actually playing a song, I'll have my earphone in, and I'll be listening to a song that I've actually never heard before, and learning it, so that the following song is the new one. And it's very Aussie of me that I'll be like, let's just give it a red hot go. And if it works, it works. And if it doesn't, it's funny. But we'll just give it a go. So there's been a lot of times that, you know, thankfully I've learned over 1,000 songs. And, you know, growing up, we've heard so many songs. So it's very quick to pick up on songs. But even nowadays, people will come up to me and they're like, have you heard this B-side track of this song from this person back in the 1970s? And I'm like, no. But does everybody want to hear it? And they're like, yes. I'm like, all righty, well, give me 4 minutes and we'll give it a go, shall we? And so I'll go and like find the chords, I'll be listening to the song, and I'll go, well, in the meantime, let's do a song that everybody knows, sing it as loud as you can, and that way maybe I don't have to sing a lot of it.
Yeah.
So I'll just be playing along, and it'll be like this group-wide karaoke moment. And then the following song, I'll be like, well, I've listened to the 4 minutes of it. I've probably listened to it once, maybe 1.5 times. Let's give it a go, shall we? And if it works, it works. Let's have some fun. So it's a cool parlor trick. And comes with a lot of experience.
Learn as you play, but you're playing another song and you're hearing the other song in your ear, and you're figuring out the key, and you're picking up some of the lyrics, and you have those ones that, yeah, we want you to play this song, and you're figuring that out while you're still performing another song.
Yeah.
That is, I'm going to say it right now, that is freaking amazing. I don't know many people that could actually do that.
It definitely it's taken a lot of practice and a lot of years. It used to be give me an overnight, and then the progress slowly started going down. And one day I was like, well, I don't really want to wait overnight. We might as well give this a go. What if I just listen to it, give me 4 minutes? And so I started like having a break for 4 minutes in my show, and people would be like, we're just going to like sit here with our drinks. They're probably drinking something a lot more stronger than tea. And they just sit there and like watch me, and they're like, we'll wait for you. And I'll be like, cool, I'll just like listen in absolute silence with my phone, and I'll just be there, and I'll be like, okay, well, we'll give it a go. And then it went to like, oh, I don't really need to take a break. I can just be doing something else while I'm listening. But it's kind of the equivalent of like having a window down while you're driving, talking to somebody and singing the radio at the same time. So it's multitasking, just on a different level for a musician.
That's a kind way of putting it, Cassidy. I'm okay. You've stumped the panel on that one, because
you're making me blush. It's a very cool thing. Not many people actually notice it.
No.
I think when people do notice it, they're like, wait, what's going on? And I'm like, yeah, it's like a normal thing now. And they're like, oh my gosh. And it just always like humbles me for a second. I'm like, oh, okay, it's actually a cool thing. It's like a normal thing. So thank you very much.
Yes, you're more than welcome. And it's just you. I mean, it's not like, okay, well, give it to the drummer, or, oh, well, this guy knows that song from the 70s or whatever. It's you. It's you with the piano, or it's you with the guitar, and there you are doing it yourself.
Yeah.
That
100%.
is remarkable. I'm not worthy. I'm not. I mean,
Thank you.
Yeah, you're more than welcome.
I mean, now that I am performing with a band around Australia, and like we're planning a tour at the moment to travel up and down the east coast of Australia, I don't think I would ever like make them do that, but it would be very funny.
Wouldn't that be
to see
cool?
how quickly everybody could pick up a song. Like I have such a talented band.
Wouldn't it be so cool to set the band up and go, oh, we're going to change it up. We're going to do this song from the 70s, man.
In their earphones. We'll just play a song we all know. Ready, set, go. No. But it is definitely just me up there. So it got a lot of practice to try and like, for me, I love shows and I love performing because it's about creating an energy where people can be in a room and be authentically themselves and have the time of their life, and, just unashamedly sing at the top of their lungs and not really care if there's somebody next to them going, oh, they really can't sing, or they're way too loud. They're just having a good time, and I get to create that with, I'm the curator of that. And that to me is so important. So to actually be able to keep the show and keep that energy and keep that entertainment level going, that nobody's walking out of the room. They're actually a little bit intrigued to see if I'll do it, and B, still entertained by the song that I'm putting on. That's very important to me. So it definitely took a lot of work, but I'm glad that you notice it and appreciate it.
Yeah. I mean, crowd participation to me is like everything. When they first came out with wireless mics, well, no, they didn't even have wireless mics. I would get a 50-foot cable on my mic, and I would go out into the middle of the crowd. And matter of fact, one night I ended up with laryngitis right before the show. And I'm like going, hey, I can't sing tonight, so I need some help. And it was like, it was kind of like what you were talking about. It was like everybody knew the songs that, we were doing and they sang them.
It's
And
a
I'm like,
tearjerker moment, right? Literally my last contract, on my last week, I'd gotten the worst. It was the worst and the best contract I think I've ever done, because I had gotten down with COVID and influenza at the same time. I walked into the doctor's office and they were like, "Congratulations, you got both." And I was like, "Well, my parents said if I do everything, do it 100%. I just didn't realize I shouldn't do sickness 100%. I'd just gotten over COVID and influenza, gotten back out. I was cleared, no longer contagious. Got back out, performed one night, and then got laryngitis. And I'd lost my voice to the point that, I was actually nervous. I'd call home crying, going, "This is the worst I've ever been vocally." I
yeah.
actually, when you sing like Jingle Bells, you know how it starts. And I would be like, and not a sound would come out. I got so nervous. I had like 2 days and it was still just as bad. I went to go and do a show and my crowd looked at me, heard me sing one song, barely, and they went, "We've got this. Can you please play your song, Fangirl, your song, one more song, then we'll have a Taylor Swift song, then a Wagon Wheel song." They set my song list up
Oh,
for me,
that's so
and they were
cool.
like, "We've got this. We're ready." And there was 300 people all at once that I actually got to a point. There's a video of me just doing this, and I'm like conducting my
You're the
crowd.
conductor.
Because they're like, "We'll just take over for you." And I had no voice for 3 hours. And they went, "Next song, shall we crowd vote it? Another one of Cassidy Rae's songs? Cool. Everybody got the lyrics? Lyrics are around. Ready? 1, 2, 3, Cassidy, play the chords." And I went like this. I went, "Okay." Played my one chord and they were like, "Yes!" And it was absolutely amazing. I'd gotten to the point that I had hand signals. Like, I wouldn't speak for the entire night. They're like, "You just suck on butter menthols, you suck on your soothers." I'd raise my glass and I'd be like this, and they'd be like, "Well, time to drink. Cheers." So no, I 100%, like, it's such an incredible feeling when you've created that, and you obviously know that so well, having laryngitis as well at that time, that the crowd has already been so with you and so supportive of you, and loving it, and loving the atmosphere and the energy and the show that you've created, that they're like, "You know what? We're actually here with you. If you fall, we got you. We're ready to sing at the top of our lungs." That is such an incredible, heartwarming feeling. Like, it
Oh,
brings
yeah.
tears to the eyes just thinking about it. And it takes a proficient songwriter and an entertainer to be able to create that atmosphere. So credit to you, to be able to have a crowd that actually goes, we're here, we're supporting you.
Yeah. I mean, you feel helpless, and you're
Mhm.
like, what am I going to do? But you definitely don't need background singers, and you get caught up with a cold or something. That your audience is going to take over. Just use the cup, okay, and then it goes to the chorus or wherever it goes.
Like going and just playing, they're like ready to count it in. They've got it. They're like sorted. It's absolutely incredible experience. And I'm actually headed off this Sunday. I'm flying back down to Sydney to go and start another residency with Carnival Cruise Lines, I think, on the Carnival Splendor ship. So hopefully I'll get to create that atmosphere again.
Wow.
Just without the laryngitis would be nice. That'd be great.
That would be so much fun. So let's talk about your new hit. Now that we've caught up.
Love
The
it.
new song is called Fangirl. And
Repping the merch and everything.
Where did you get that T-shirt? Because I have no idea how you found one that said Fangirl on it.
I know. It's my
know.
own. So it's on the website. People can come fangirl with me. And of course, if they're like, "Cassidy, we're not a girl," you can fanboy. There's fanboy T-shirts. Actually, didn't even mean to have it on me. But there's even like fanboy T-shirts, which I think is so
Oh,
cute.
that's kind of cool. That's really cool.
How adorable is that?
I love that.
So, like, we have fangirl merch now, and fangirl hoodies and fanboy hoodies. We have fangirl bracelets. So repping the merch right now. It's such a good song. People were like, this is what we would like. Please make this. And I was like, I hear you. Let it begin.
Go to Cassidy-Ray, RAY.com. That's her website. And you'll see her shows, you'll see where she's playing, her merchandise, everything is there. I went there. It was just lovely. And I'm like, yeah, I need to have one of those and one of those. So I'll be ordering. So,
Yeah.
Fangirl, tell me like it was written because you were a fangirl, or were you thinking about people that were fans of yours?
Multiple reasons. So I am that girl that is singing in my bedroom with my hairbrush.
Yes, I was
along to
that
all my
girl
favorite
too.
songs.
Yes.
I am that girl, front row at a show, decked out in merch, singing and dancing along like I'm back in my bedroom. You know, I'm that fangirl. And I thought I'd never actually heard a song like that before, that somebody is talking about this fangirl experience. And something that I've been loving is that being on these residencies and getting to perform as much. Like I performed, I think, over 170 shows last year. I don't even know. Like, it's ridiculous. It was nearly a show, maybe 270. Like, I lost count of how many shows I
Yeah.
did. That these songs became less about, like, am I in love? What does love feel like? Is it love or isn't it love? I'm out of love. Love is stupid. Love is great. And it became less about that experience and more about, you know, I'm on the road and people are requesting night after night one more song. I'm on the road, and somebody actually came up to me after one of my shows and they're like, I'm obsessed. I'm a fangirl. And I was like, oh my goodness, that sounds like such a cool line. You know,
Yes.
I'm a fangirl myself. And I went, well, I want to write about what I'm actually experiencing. And, you know, I am a fangirl. I haven't seen that written before. And people around me are fangirling. I think it would be such a cool song to have that relatable idea. And so a lot of my songs lately have been less about, you know, love and falling in love and falling out of love or questioning it, and more actually into the shows that I'm doing and that I'm very grateful to do. So fangirling is just one aspect of that I was so grateful to actually, you know, take this idea and this body of a song and take it to my producers, M Squared, and they were able to sprinkle magic and help co-write it into the phenomenal thing that it is today, that people sing at the top of their lungs, which I'm so happy about. But yeah, it was this incredible song that I was kind of like, this is what I'm experiencing, and I think people would absolutely fangirl over fangirl.
I agree. You know, I was going to play a track, but a fangirls for our listeners and for our viewers. But
Yeah.
since you are drinking tea, it's now like what, about 11
Nearly
o'clock?
midday.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, you're into it. You're holding your guitar. Can you give us a little ditty?
I would love to.
Okay, here
All
we are.
right.
It's the first time on the infamous Sue Bloom. We are going to hear Cassidy Rae play and sing her song Fangirl.
I love it.
Okay.
Fangirl along out there if you know the words. It's safe to say that I'm obsessed. You should be paying rent inside my head. All the acronyms that no one gets. You don't even know my name. I'm a fangirl, I can tell you. I fell in love the instant I knew it was more than a buzz. The room was spinning as a song was spinning on the radio. From the very first song, I was singing along. It's safe to say that I'm obsessed. You should be paying rent inside my head. All the acronyms that no one gets. You don't even know my name. I'm a fangirl. String lyrics from the top of my lungs. Stay awake, hear repeat on her songs. I'm one of the millions. You're one in a billion. And I'm a fangirl. I can tell you. It's more than a trend. Your words are my guru, my confidence. You're telling my story while you're singing your song.
I dream of the day when I see your face, it's safe to say that I'm obsessed. Should be paying rent inside my head, all the acronyms that no one gets. If you don't even know my name, I'm a fangirl. Read your lyrics from the top of my lungs. Stay awake, you repeat on her songs. I'm one of the millions, you're one in a billion. And I'm a fangirl. Thinking about you. I'm a fangirl. Oh, I'm a fangirl. No pain, no shame. Yeah, I'm a fangirl. I will scream your name. Yeah, I'm a fangirl. If you feel the same, say it with me now. Say it with me now. I'm a fangirl. No pain, no shame. Yeah, I'm a fangirl. I will scream your name. Yeah, I'm a fangirl. If you feel the same, raise your hands now. It's safe to say that I'm obsessed. You should be paying rent inside my head. All the acronyms that no one gets. You don't even know my name. I'm a fangirl. Bring your lyrics from the top of my lungs. Stay awake and repeat on our songs. I'm one of the millions, you're one in a billion. And I'm a fangirl. Yeah.
That is so amazing.
Oh, I'm a fangirl. Yeah.
There it is, ladies and gentlemen. Cassidy Rae live on HamiltonRadio.net. You heard it here first. United States, 8:47 p.m. Eastern Time. We got Cassidy Rae singing Fangirl. Girl, that was incredible.
Thank you.
Yeah, I mean, how do I follow that? I mean, you know.
Well, cheers. I appreciate it. Thank
More
you so
tea.
much.
Yeah. Why am I drinking? Or why am I sipping? And you're the one that sang. That was just the best. Those of you that are watching this, come on, man. You have got to love that. I have all type of artists on, rock artists and country artists, and I got to commend you, Cassidy. I know that you do this for a living, but so do they. And you have been the first to actually sing here live, and it was beautiful. So
You're making me fangirl. Now I'm gonna have to send you one of my fangirl bracelets.
yes, of course I do. Yes, I'm one of you. Look, I even know how to do this. I mean,
You're doing the heart and everything. I'm gonna have to send you fangirl bracelets. I might have to send you a couple of extra to give away if you want.
Oh, of
But
course.
seriously, thank you for fangirling with me. So you're gonna have to let me know your postal address.
Oh, absolutely. I will do that after the show. Like I said, I am on all of you. I mean, you are a true performer. Not that the other people aren't, but everybody approaches it differently. And being a female in the industry, you are just a shining light and a positive influence to so many young
you.
girls that want to do this, and they can look up to you because you're doing it. And you go back and watch this show again, and there's just so much information that I'm gonna have to go back and watch it myself because it was just so enjoyable. I mean, I loved it. So you have
Keep
got.
complimenting me. I won't be able to fit through doorways. My head will be too
It's
big.
okay. You have all day to get through it.
Lord.
Hey, watch that guitar. Is that a
Because
3/4 size guitar?
It is. It's a mini maiden. I thought when I first learned, I couldn't fit my hands around the actual fretboard because
Uh-huh.
as a pianist we play very differently, and so I had a mini one. So it's a cute little baby one that's very easy to travel with.
Yes. Yes. I have a couple that are really big bodied, like my own butt, you know. It's and it's like I hide behind that when I play. It's like it
That's the
covers me
next
up.
one to get, I think, is a bigger one, just to be like a good little brother or sister,
I
or
think
bigger brother or
so.
bigger sister. I don't know. I love it. It's beautiful. It creates such a nice sound, and it's got a lot of memories attached to it.
Oh, I'm sure it does. And so when you approach your singing, it's all about life experiences. It's about the people that you have come in contact with and made a difference in their world, in their
I
life.
I believe that when words fail, music speaks, and I love that music transcends language and distance and discriminations of any kind, and it just transcends all these different barriers and kind of unites people and connects them from heart to heart. And so I love writing for people, and I think music is about connecting, and so it's not really
Yes.
just about my experiences or my relationships or lack of, or my adventures. It's purely about what I'm experiencing. I kind of like to think of myself as like SpongeBob SquarePants, in the sense that like I literally live in the sea and sometimes under the sea. No, no, I live in a really cool place, and have all these residencies, and have so many shows where I get to meet people and hear their stories, and when I'm signing posters or when I'm giving out CDs, or at the merch table, and they're telling me how they came across me or how long they've been a fangirl. I get to hear their life story and kind of absorb everything around me and around them, and then I kind of like take it to the piano or the guitar, and I end up like squeezing myself out like a sponge, and out comes this music before I've even really thought of it. So my songwriting experience is very much based on everything around me, as well as my own life experiences.
And that's important, because you're right. There are so many writers that are writing about love and, personal issues and things of that nature. And that's all well and fine. There are great hits out there. But what I found was so refreshing with you, and I found this out last year, it was like, wow, she gets it. Now, you have a song called One More Song. And anybody that has ever played live at the end of the night, it's like, okay, thank you and good night. And there's somebody, I don't care if you're in a bar, wherever, it's like one more song. And it's like here in America, they always want to hear Freebird, by Leonard Skinner or something weird like that. But your song, One More Song, I could just relate to that because the whole lyric line is that based off of a performer, because that's what we
Yeah.
hear.
And so it doesn't just work for like songwriters, but it works for the fans. So when I'd finished like a 3-hour show, I'd had this entire crowd that like started joining together and were like, one more song. And I was very surprised that they didn't sing encore, but that would have been such a weird song to write encore comparatively. And I thought nothing of it until I'd hopped on a residency that was from Seattle to Sydney. And so it was literally a 30-day cruise with the same guests, same fans, night after night. And on the very first night, I just finished like a 4-hour show, and that all started like banging on the tables, one more song. And I stupidly said out loud, oh my goodness, thank you so much. This is amazing. And it's only the first night. I wonder how many nights in a row you could keep doing this. And they took that as a challenge, not as like a compliment, because we got to the 14th night and they were still chanting one more song. And I was like, 3 times 3 and 4 by 42, that's a good 160 plus hours that I've just performed. No, 4 by 14, sorry. That's a good 54 hours.
Yes.
64 hours that I've just performed. And you're still asking for one more song. That's it. If you're going to ask for one more song, I'm going to write you a song called One More Song. So the next time you chant one more song, I'm just going to play you my own. And it was very like blasé of me. And again, they took it as a challenge and not just me trying to be funny. the 15th night came and they were still chanting one more song. So I'd actually written them that night. I was like, well, fine, here's one more song. It's called One More Song. Here we go. And it's become this thing that a lot of my fans actually will come on ships and they've messaged me. They're like, we'll be on board. We're ready to trade friendship bracelets. And they'll come going, you know, one more song. And the last song better be one more song.
Yeah.
So very cool that it works for songwriters and for fans as well.
That is an incredible story. You can find Cassidy Rae at Cassidy-Rae, R-A-Y. Hello, Facebook user. R-A-E. What'd I say? R-E-A. I'm dyslexic. Okay, tonight. So it's Cassidy-Rae.com. Go there. Check out her music. She is on Spotify, Apple Music, Amazon Music, YouTube, Deezer, Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. You can find Cassidy Rae wherever you are. You just have to look. So she's got an upcoming residency. I believe it starts March 4th. And yeah, it's just like next week.
Literally, I'm not packed.
Well, I'll tell you what, I'm going to definitely keep in touch with you because I want to know all about what's going on with Cassidy Rae. I can't thank you enough for this interview. I mean,
thank you.
You guys realize it's still Tuesday here and she's in Australia and it's Wednesday. So like there's a time warp between us. But yeah, look at her. She's beautiful. She's upbeat. She's singing. And Cassidy, you have my heart, girl. We'll chat afterwards. How about, I'm going to put you on the spot here. How about you take us out of the last three minutes of One More Song? Because it's all about one more song. I'm Sue Bloom. Thank you for tuning in. If you didn't tune in, it's your fault because you missed out, but you can watch this broadcast on YouTube. Please enter hamiltonradio.net and please request Fangirl by Cassidy Rae. Take it away, Cassidy. One more song.
Crowd is jumping, bass thumping under neon lights, and he's humming, guitar strumming, and then it feels right on. Oh, 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 oh. Feet are tapping, hands are clapping till the sun comes up. We're screaming, we're shouting, don't ever stop. Oh, 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 oh. And to play. Kick off your boots and raise your glass, you better size. Go grab a friend and just forget what's on your mind. Don't get left behind, you're gonna be here all night. So raise your voice and shout it out, let's make it loud. Let's show them what that country life is all about. This is your final chance, get up and dance, cause we ain't got much time, but we got time for one more song. Yeah. One more song, lights are dancing, we're romancing to our favorite song. Praying that the good vibes just keep rolling all night long. Oh, 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 oh. To play. Kick off your boots and raise your glass to better times. Go grab a friend and just forget what's on your mind. Don't get left behind, ain't gonna be here all night. So raise your voice and shout it out, let's make it loud. Show them what it's all about. This is your final chance. Get up and dance, cause we ain't got much time, but we got time for one more song.
There it is, ladies and gentlemen. One more song by Cassidy Rae. Cassidy, thank you. God bless you. Be safe out there. I will keep in contact with you for sure. Thank you so much for taking the time to be on tonight. I am sure the listeners loved it. I'll keep pushing your songs. I'll keep following you. And it's all about the people that we play for, and you're doing a wonderful job. So, girl, much love
Appreciate
to
you.
you.
Thank you so
You're
much.
more than
Cheers.
welcome. You guys join all of CassidyRae.com. Check her out on her videos on Instagram, Facebook, everywhere, man. Just hang on to Cassidy Rae. She is going #1. Thank you, Cassidy. I appreciate your time.
Cheers.